Get my slouch on.
Let's get all cozy. Oh man, of all of these movies, this one was the best. And by best, by the way, I'm not necessarily talking about technical achievements. I'm more so talking about this was the most fucking absurd out of all of these movies. We get crazy excited for these, by the way.
Like, black thrillers has legitimately become one of my favorite genres of movies.
We get just as excited for this as we do for, like, the next Marvel movie that's coming out.
Yeah, like, for the past, like, month, it's like, oh, man, like, I know Blair Witch is coming up, but like, ooh, when the Bough Breaks is coming up.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
I texted you on Wednesday. I'm like, dude, when the Bough Breaks is on Friday, you in? Like, oh, sweet Jesus, yes. We had to, the worst part of it was we had to wait till Friday because they didn't give it a pre-screening.
Or apparently any screenings before we went to see it, because we both were checking like Rotten Tomatoes, and like I was looking at like Metacritic.
As if like, we're really curious. What's the critics gonna? What are the critics gonna think of when the Bough breaks?
I wasn't expecting a lot, but sometimes I like to be pleasantly surprised when it's a movie that I'm expecting to be terrible.
Like if this somehow had like an 80.
Like You're Next.
Yeah.
That movie has an absurdly bloated score.
Yeah, it does.
But, you know, like, sometimes I like being surprised. Like, I didn't realize, like how high of a rating, like, Don't Breathe has. Like, it's really up there.
Well, that's a legitimately, like...
But yeah, deservedly so.
Yeah.
Usually, a horror film doesn't get that good of reviews.
This one, not sure where it's sitting at.
It's a big fucking question mark. There are not enough... Like, I looked at... this was maybe, like, 3 o'clock this afternoon. I pulled up Metacritic. Yeah. I'm like, what's going on over there? And no review for it. I'm like, well, I know sometimes, like, they need, like, I think at least, like, 10... critic reviews before they can put together like an aggregate score.
Yeah.
So I scrolled down to see if maybe people started weighing in. Nobody. There was one user review. And then I checked Rotten Tomatoes, like, well, maybe everybody's just putting the reviews over here. No critic reviews.
Nothing.
Just like a couple user reviews, including the one that was on Metacritic. Like, there was no score going into this. Like, how? How has no one seen this movie and felt like talking about it?
We're the first ones to see this movie and talk about it.
Fucking apparently.
I like that this is almost the same exact movie as that sort of parody Lifetime movie that Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig did. It's practically the same movie. Like, a couple, they can't have a kid, so they want to use a surrogate. And they get this surrogate girl who's obsessed with Will Ferrell and starts stalking him. She has a loser boyfriend.
Because of how, like, manly and muscular he is.
Oh, absolutely. With that beard in that movie. So she has a loser boyfriend. It kind of turns out to be a scam. Like, things play a little bit differently in that one, but by and large, like... You could watch them both, like, fucking back to back. This one's done fairly straight. Deadly Adoption was kind of played straight, but they were still aware of the kind of movie that they were making. So, that was interesting.
Well, yeah, but that one was missing the key ingredient that this one had.
Morris Chestnut?
Morris Chestnut!
Uh-huh.
I feel bad, like, I honestly have not seen any of that TV show he's on.
It's awful.
Oh, good.
Rosewood?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
It wasn't he, like, a couple years ago, weren't they talking about, did they even film any of it? I know they were talking about doing, like a revival of, like, Ironsides.
Oh, they did that.
Okay.
Yeah, that
I
was...
thought he was supposed to be in that.
Wasn't that...
Or was it somebody else?
He wasn't in that. Like, wasn't that, like, Isaiah Washington? Or
It may have been.
Fuck, I can't remember. No, but they did do that.
Okay.
I remember seeing a bunch of clips of that on the Soup. No,
so that's how you know it's good.
Exactly. Rosewood, it looked hilarious from the clips they showed. Rosewood is like, I don't like any TV series, which is most network shows, where in the previews for it, you can, when the previews are so smug, like, you can put that riff, the boom, 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 after every line of dialogue in the trailer. I don't like any show where you can conceivably do that to the previews.
And that's how Brad picks shows.
It is, and it's worked out well so far. That's why I also don't watch Castle.
Oh, come on. It's got Nathan Fillion and that girl who was like Guildenstern or whatever, Rosencrantz in
Gary Oldman?
Yes. That girl who is also Gary Oldman. No, she was in The Spirit. She was the cop. The lady cop in The Spirit.
Oh, okay.
She had some like her name was something stupid like that, like Rosencrantz or something.
Yeah.
Because that whole show got canceled anyway.
That's right.
But no, like I fucking love Morris Chestnut.
This is now the second Morris Chestnut movie in a row we've seen. This and The Perfect Guy. That have a scene of him threatening some psychopath to stay away from the girl in the movie.
he gets in these situations a lot.
Yeah, the poor guy. At least he lives through this one.
I chalk it up to him being so damn charming and handsome.
Right, which honestly tells you fucking how bad Rosewood is. Morris Chestnut cannot save that shit.
But like I know, like I know I've talked to you about this before, but like I think I've seen more movies starring Morris Chestnut in theater than I have with like some actors that like I legitimately try to go out of my way to like watch their movies.
The thing with Morris Chestnut is a lot of the times you won't even know he's in the movie until he shows up.
True.
Like, movies can have a tendency to surprise you with a Morris Chestnut appearance.
But yeah, like, I don't know, it's like one of those things, like, I've seen a lot of Morris Chestnut movies in the theater. I don't know that I've ever just, like, spontaneously saw one with him at home.
And you're right, yeah. They are all fucking worth it. Oh. Every single one of them.
Absolutely.
If Morris Chestnut has his name on it on the poster, shell out your fucking money. You'll have the time of your life in that shit.
See, that's why like I'm not exactly geared up for that whatever the Black Christmas movie is this year.
Almost Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Because yeah, it doesn't look like he's in it, but I mean, for all we know, like he is.
He could be in it.
He's just maybe not like one of the family members or something. But and I feel kind of bad because a lot of these movies, like there are a lot of really good black actors out there, but they use like the same like 10.
You're gonna have a Morris Chestnut, a Regina Hall, Michael Ealy.
Like. You're probably either going to have Omar Epps or Terrence Howard.
Or Mike Epps.
You don't usually seem to get them both. Like, I could have just, like, that Almost Christmas, I could have very easily seen Terrence Howard in that.
Instead, it's J.B. Smoove, though.
Which I always like seeing him.
Me too. Me too. And honestly, Michael Ealy could have easily played like the dipshit boyfriend in this movie, and you could have legit had just like a perfect guy.
You could have just had a reunion tour.
When the Bough breaks crossover. This movie it immediately, to start from the beginning, the movie immediately starts out with okay, Morris Chestnut and Regina Hall are a married couple, and she's miscarried a lot, so they decide to go the surrogacy route. And it immediately starts with them watching Jazz Sinclair's interview tape.
It immediately ends up like going directly to a scene from Audition.
Yeah, and like with the most hardcore surrogate interviewer you've ever seen in your life.
Like I was like a fucking prosecutioner, like on goddamn cross-examination. Like I'm nailing this motherfucker to the wall.
Yeah, like he wants to find out if she will be a good surrogate and whether or not she committed a murder. Like, this guy is like a former homicide. They should have gotten like Dennis Franz to play this interviewer. Like, bring him out of retirement.
Don't you fucking bullshit me, lady.
You can't bullshit a lady. Hits her on the head with a phone book. So Regina Hall's like, I trust her eyes. So like, you're a bad judge of character.
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and set this up right up front here. The entire rest of all of the things that happen, because you kind of forget most of the way through the movie, it's entirely Regina Hall's fault.
Yes.
All of it. Mm-hmm. Every bad thing that happens from here on out is entirely on her.
Including all of the batshit turns this movie takes, which we'll get to later. The climax of this movie is jaw-dropping in its insanity.
This movie takes a couple sudden turns.
Yeah.
It has a couple twists that one or two of them I'm like, okay, well, that's probably going to happen. And I was right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it telegraphs a lot. But there are a couple, like it takes a couple different ideas and just, like what if this was in this one, too? Mm-hmm. It's like, what's still in the bag of, like, thriller tropes? Like, what can we pull out? It's
yeah.
Like,
what if, like, during the typical bitch fight that's in all these movies, someone's water breaks? What if? Okay, $10 million, let's make that shit. And so Jazz Sinclair is she's like a coffee shop waitress, and she has a boyfriend in the movie. And so...
Who is immediately the shadiest fucking guy.
This is fucking hilarious, because...
I had to look him up, because I'm like, the whole fucking movie...
What has he been in?
I'm like, I goddamn know I know this guy from something,
mm-hmm.
but I'm picturing him with, like, tattoos. I'm picturing him wearing, like, fucking gloves. And no, he's one of, like, the cast members from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh.
He's in, like, the fucking whole show.
Oh, okay. All right. He's the guy who I was like, they really could have gotten Michael Ealy to play this part. So, like... You know, for the type of movie this is, that the two of them are going to be shady. But so they're having like this dinner date with Regina Hall and Morris Chestnut, in which you can tell like they're sitting there at dinner. They're trying to make like they're this cool, normal couple, Jazz Sinclair and her boyfriend. But as soon as the boyfriend and Morris Chestnut go outside so that the guy can have a cigarette,
he immediately drops the entire ruse.
Yeah, he's like, you know,
that was like the biggest fucking red flag. Just like, you know what, just cut this shit off here, because. And meanwhile, this dinner is set up because of the fact that Regina Hall decided that, like, it's like, well, I was going to do all the paperwork so we could start things going on this, but instead, I just found out where this girl works, went down there, met her in person without, like, any of the paperwork or anything, and then invited her to our home. Uh-huh. It's like,
that's...
Like, Morris Chestnut the whole time is like,
that's like, the start of bullshit that Morris Chestnut has to go along with in this movie.
There are so many scenes that are just him going, I guess.
Oh,
because whenever, like, even just right there, whenever they pick her based off her like audition tape, like, yeah, Regina Hall's like, her eyes, she's the one, and Morris Chestnut's like,
well, my baby wants, my baby gets.
Okay, I mean, if you say so. Like, he is not feeling it at all, but he's like, I don't know, she's really into this. I like seeing her happy. Like,
I like seeing that kid. Like, sure.
Everything that happens is him just. I mean.
And everything.
I can't deny that face a smile.
Even when shit hits the fan, does he begrudgingly go along with insane bullshit?
Just mile after mile, slogging through it, because it gets bad. But yeah, so where we're at is, the boyfriend, Mike, is like, hey, you got somewhere I can smoke? And him and Morris Chestnut, like, step out on, like, the porch.
Mike's like, you know what I love about places with a lot of windows? When you work on these windows, man, you can just see right inside of them. Man, those rich broads, they want you looking. They want you looking.
There's all kinds of shit you see.
Like
they pretend like they're like, oh, I'm surprised, but like, they fucking.
So Morris Chestnut.
And he's just immediately like,
Yeah, he's
No.
he brings this up to Regina Hall in the next scene. He's like, I don't like the guy. He's talking about like spying on women through windows. And then Regina Hall's answer to this is seriously, Regina Hall goes, oh, maybe he was just trying to bond with you.
Like, that's his way of bonding.
That's just how he bonds, You
like,
guys and your peeping Tomming.
And like the whole time he's doing that too, like he runs like this hard line, like round of like shit at Morris Chestnut. Like, it's like, this fucking house you guys got, I mean, you must be fucking rich.
Yeah, he brings up money a lot.
Like, you must be fucking loaded with money, all this shit.
It'd be so great. It must have cost a penny to have this place renovated.
Man, after Katrina, like, fixing this place, and it looks beautiful. Like, he's like, yeah, we had to fucking work for it, plus, like, we inherited it from something, I don't know. He's like, but still, though, right?
Windows, bro.
All that
Windows.
fucking money.
It's tight.
It's like the whole time he's like, it's like, and Morris Chestnut is a lawyer. He is, they keep talking about him making partner, so I have to assume he's a defense lawyer.
Yeah, he works for the Glenn Warshower Romany Malco firm.
It's like, he should be trained to spot bullshit grifters like this.
Yeah, especially when he goes to their house that looks like it's on the same block Stephen Lang lives on and Don't Breathe, complete with Crazy Dog, too. So here's this dipshit psycho Michael
yeah, like Morris Chestnut, like, him and his wife, they look like they live on the same block as, like, Nick Cage's place down there and, like, Brad Pitt's place down in fucking New Orleans. Like,
oh, next door to him, like, the movie The Gift is going on.
Right?
I'm not living on that street. I don't care how nice the houses
that
are.
Shit. Fuck any place that is 90% windows.
Yes, that means that the movie will be a thriller.
I'm sorry, you got floor-to-ceiling windows? No. No.
So the guy ends up, they get called over to their place because he's beaten up Jazz Sinclair. He's like punched her a couple of times in the face.
Yeah, because like they dropped a hint like the scene before that he's secretly unhinged a little. Because
he goes around smiling like young Jack Napier in Batman.
Yeah. But like he like the girl she shows up at like Morris Chestnut's office in like fucking like cut off jean shorts and half a shirt.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, somebody's fucking prostitute. And Morris is like,
that's
I got
a relative.
I gotta go. And they're like, oh, she's with you. It's like it's a relative. It's a relative. Like,
which means that's not a relative. Then at first I'm like, why doesn't he just say who it is?
Clearly these people that you work with every day for years now. At some point you must have talked to them about the fact that like you've tried like all kinds of different stuff. Like I'm sure that he's had to ask off from work for like extended leaves like a couple times if they've had 3 miscarriages.
Given how many dinner parties they have, they're gonna notice his wife's not pregnant and suddenly they have a kid.
Yeah, like it's gonna come up at some point. Plus, those two are just slamming alcohol down constantly.
Yeah.
But so she shows up there and it's like, oh, well, Mike didn't pick me up from my doctor's appointment, so I didn't know where to go. So she apparently took a cab into the busy downtown of the city.
This girl
to this
can get
high-powered
anywhere
firm
in this movie. This girl can magically fucking teleport.
Except home.
Yeah.
Except to her at one place that one time it was convenient.
Other than that, she can make her way she will randomly show up in your yard, in front of your car, in your house, at random hospitals, everywhere. She has Fucking Jason Voorhees, Jason
gonna
Takes Manhattan, teleportation. She is the fastest pregnant lady I've ever seen in my life. My God. Like, no one should attempt anything in this movie because odds are she is fucking behind you.
Yeah, stand next to a wall because this bitch will just be there.
So she's now she starts to live with Morris Chestnut and Regina Hall because the guy beat her up. And so that's when the scene comes in where Morris Chestnut, like, he issues a restraining order against the guy, and he also says, like, these are the list of charges that I could file against you.
But I'm not gonna. Just play fucking cool. Be cool.
Be cool. Everybody be cool. You be cool.
And he's a smartass about it the entire time.
Yeah, he's sitting there like...
So, again, obvious to everyone except for the defense lawyer that he is clearly not taking this seriously and is lying to you openly.
Morris Chestnut says, like, don't worry, you'll get your money. Like, why does he get any money?
Yeah, that was the thing I was confused about, because him and the girl, they're not even, like, married. Like, they're, like, boyfriend and girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure why he's getting the money. Yeah,
in A Deadly Adoption, like, the evil couple, it was, like, supposed to be their kid, I think, or something like that. But then it turned out like there was a scam going on with it. In this,
turns out it was just that fake kid from American Sniper. Here's your baby.
Pretty much.
Fuck.
Shit. What the fuck is that?
That's not what I paid $30,000 for.
So now she's Anna is the girl's name in this. So now she's living with Regina Hall and Morris Chestnut, and
luckily they have their house is big enough it has a guest house.
Yeah, it's got a guest house. So little things start happening, and by little things I mean fairly quickly. Anna says to Morris Chestnut, like,
Oh, this is me.
This is so weird, right?
Like,
I'm carrying your baby.
This is gonna be so awkward to talk about because you're right here, and I watched you and your wife through the window while you were just plowing it last night.
Isn't it so weird that you're inside me right now?
It's like, you're inside me.
You're inside of me right now.
I like it.
This is before
he is legitimately like, it is the beginning of his day. He's woken up, probably taken a shower, put on like a nice ass like 5-piece suit, and just now made it downstairs to get a goddamn cup of coffee.
Yeah.
She's like, so, like, I've got you inside me.
It's okay, because that night,
trying to pull like this like weird like The Crush, like, Lolita thing. I mean, she's
21.
Yeah,
they make a point
age
to say that a few times in the movie.
They keep pointing out, like, it's cool. She's not, like, underage. Because even,
Romany Malco wants to ask her out at one point.
Because, like, he even points out, he's like, it's like, damn, man. Like, he's like, hey, she's 21. He's like, yeah, so, like, cool, plus 3 years. Like, he's like, I do not see what the problem is right now.
Yeah, and so he goes,
He said 21 like she's like 15.
So he says to Morris Chestnut, he's like, so, is it okay if I ask her out? Morris Chestnut's like, yeah, that's fine.
It's like,
and at this party, too, she comes down.
He just didn't want his friend's dick that close to his baby.
Oh, she comes through at this party like she just got one of Shannon Weary's dresses. Regina Hall's like, that is not the dress I gave her.
She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
The other one didn't fit, so you want me to go change? And I'm talking, like, low cut, like...
If you look at a poster for it, it's the poster.
It is.
It's enough of a dress that it's the poster for the film.
Mm-hmm. Everyone at the party, damn!
Like, she walks out and immediately there's like 5 old white guys like like talking to her.
Yeah, yeah. And like later that night is when like it's storming outside and Morris Chestnut hears something stuck on the gutters over the window to the guest house.
Yeah, they were having like a fundraiser in their palatial backyard.
Yeah.
And like the event tent that they had set up, like one of like the straps to like anchor it down was tied around like the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
So it was starting to like pull the gutter loose because of the storm.
And it's keeping him awake. So he goes out, gets a ladder in the middle of this typhoon, and
puts on Bruce Willis's raincoat.
That's what it looked like
from Unbreakable.
It looked like
I was waiting
Bruce
for him to fall.
David from Unbreakable is also a peeper.
Like I was waiting for him to accidentally fall in the pool and almost die.
Yeah. And so he's looking down through the window and she's standing there and she disrobes like, oh, I hope no one's watching me. But she knows he is. So she then
makes
looks up
intense lingering eye contact.
Yes. While Morris Chestnut is standing with like this look on his face that looks like you would if you had a bunch of rain and wind fucking blowing in your face.
Yeah, because it's weird because like she's like looking up, like making like this like, oh yeah, you fucking like that.
Mm-hmm.
You like this? You like that? Yeah, you fucking like that. And he's making this face like she's a goddamn monster, like a fucking freak show. Like he's like standing there like I'm like, well, if it's that fucking bad, move your goddamn head.
Vomit.
But he looks fucking horrified by what he sees.
This instantly then turns into she starts sending him nudie videos at his work. He's like, stop it. You stop sending me this.
Yeah, like, he sends this video and it's just like 30 seconds, like blank screen. It's like, what the fuck am I looking at? That's a wall. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then she steps over, is like, okay. Like moves her, like pulls her shirt up a little bit and has the word baby written in like lipstick across her stomach. And he's like, what the fuck? And then she's like, oh, time to take my shit off. Like, nope, it's close.
This is the PG-13 cut, though, so he instantly closes it. That's the difference between a movie like this now and a movie like this, like, Scorned from the early 90s.
He would have watched the video in that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there would have been fucking tits out all over the fucking place.
They wanted to have them out all over the place in this one.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's the difference between this, like, seeing a movie like this in the theater and seeing it on Skinamax in the early 90s. At least we're going to see all of Shannon Tweed before she tries killing Andrew Stevens.
Well, in that version, the entire, like, last scene of the movie would have been her naked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or she would have had on, like, a very, like ill-fitting tank top only or something.
Yeah, and like she's got some boyfriend with a voyeurism fetish, and it's Maxwell Caulfield. This happens at his work. And he's like, oh god damn it. And the boyfriend comes back a couple of times. This is fucking ridiculous. So
he keeps trying to he is running an entirely different movie.
Yeah, he is like in his movie, he is the lead villain. It's like for a few scenes, the movie The Perfect Guy keeps happening for like a couple scenes in the movie. It's
like if you were watching something like Ransom.
Yeah.
And like Gary Sinise is like, okay, here's what we're gonna fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
But then like one of the other ones is just like, I'm gonna raise this kid as my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that's gonna be it. Like, I'm gonna take the kid, I'm gonna go get fucking Rene Russo, and it's just gonna be us. We're gonna be a family.
Donnie Wahlberg came close to that. I could sort of picture that with his character in that movie.
But so that's where like the boyfriend is like he keeps showing up and like it's like, all right, now here's what you're gonna do.
And it's ridiculous.
Like every once a month you're gonna tell them, you know what? This is my body, my right. I'm keeping the baby.
It's like, well, motherfucker, you just broke the restraining order.
And then they'll be like, it's like, no, but it's our baby. We'll give you like another 10 grand. And you're like, okay. And then next month be like, Psych, my baby still.
What is this scam they have going on? Did she just continually get pregnant and then gets rid of it and gets money and moves on to another he brings up
I have seen an episode of like Law and Order where that was the plot.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was pretty much what they were doing in Deadly Adoption, but in that she wasn't actually pregnant. In this, she's actually pregnant with with Regina Hall's eggs and Morris Chestnut inside of me.
He put his disease in me.
This fucking yeah. I told you to get undressed, Jeffrey Beaumont. So
that's where she ends up.
Yeah. So the boyfriend even says something like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna tell them everything. And I'm like they'll fucking believe you.
Yeah, as far as they know, you shipped off in the goddamn Navy.
Yeah. And not to mention,
like, there's gonna be more questions that you're not gone than anything you're saying about her.
Yeah. Like, Morris Chestnut has a list of charges he could file against this guy. The guy is already breaking the restraining order. So no one's gonna believe his punk ass.
But, like, so he threatens her, and she's like, okay, I'll tell them. And then just goes back to, like, living at their house. Mm-hmm. And I guess after, like, a couple days, like, he hasn't heard from her. So he just like, shows up in their house. Mm-hmm. Which, I'm sorry, fucking Stephen Lang had an ironclad, like, security system in his house.
Yeah.
In Don't Breathe. Granted, he had other shit going on.
Yeah.
But he at least called, like, fucking, like George Alarm or, like, ADT or something like that. It's like, hi, can I get an alarm keypad set up for my house? You see, like, 30 of them in this house, but people just come and go like they never set the fucking thing.
The trailer I bought this car from had more of a security system outside of it.
Well, that's because they were most likely drug dealers.
I'm positive they were. They were checking every single bill I gave them to make sure it wasn't counterfeit. And there was an empty thing of Sudafed in the ashtray. Don't worry, baby. You got a good home now.
Move the top. Meth. Like,
wow.
Hidden spots everywhere.
This car is the gift that keeps on giving. So she ends up murdering this guy. And from that point on, I thought I was predicting in my head, like, okay, an outcome for this would probably be she gets caught and goes to jail and they keep the baby. It doesn't go in that direction, which is good, because that means that I didn't really predict what was going to happen in this film. Yeah. I like the fact that...
I did not see, like, the final act of this coming at all.
I didn't, and that's great.
That is a testament to this movie.
Is absolutely fucking absurd.
It's a fucking paint by numbers for the first 2 acts, and then in Act 3, it just throws away the paper and just starts drawing on the desk.
I'm honestly glad that she never really got arrested or charged with that dude's murder, because she honestly really could have gotten away with that, because no one saw her do that. Her prints would already be over at the place anyway. Oh, yeah. And this guy, she is surely not the only person who wants this guy dead.
Oh, fuck. A guy like that, he's racking up enemies.
Yeah. And let's say maybe there was a little bit of evidence, like, no one would blame anyone for stabbing this man to death.
Because from when that happens, like, he's a couple months pregnant, and it's not until she's, like, about to give birth that they even find that guy. So it's been months.
Yeah.
No one has come looking for this man.
No.
No one was.
At the end, you were in the restroom at this point, but it shows his corpse.
Oh, I saw that right when I was walking back in. Like,
dude, that looked like fucking well. They haven't gotten all the skin left yet in Hellraiser.
Yeah, He looked like that scene in Poltergeist where the dude just starts pulling his face
like
off.
close up and like maggots all over his neck and shit. That was the one part of the movie I was like, what is this rated? I thought it was a PG-13. All the other ones of these are PG-13. that is gruesome.
Well, then it follows that up like a second later with another death that
the cat, because yeah, as soon as the cat turned up in this movie, I leaned over to you, dead.
Yeah, it's like, well, that thing's not gonna make it. The only reason you give someone a pet in a thriller like this is so that they can kill it.
And also, so they really don't want you to sympathize with Anna. They don't. Like, even like you've seen this. You learn a little bit about her troubled youth later on in the movie, and also, like, she spends a majority of the movie pregnant, and they don't want anybody to sympathize with this person by the end of the movie, so they make her kill a cat.
The exact opposite of a save the cat moment.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, by the way, so they do find out that she's gone under different names in the past. She's been in juvie hall. She's been arrested before because Morris Chestnut hires a dude from The Wire. You know, with the scar down his face. Damn it, I can't. Yeah. Good actor, damn good actor. He hires him to do a behind the scenes check on her, and literally the next scene, like, Morris Chestnut like gets fired because this sounded like,
and he had to be the one who was like digging up evidence on Morris Chestnut too. It was like, man, that's gotta suck.
And because they find like the video of the girl taking off her clothes on his computer, which at first I'm like, then they should see the other part of that conversation too, which is, no, stop sending me this. But the reason he's let go, or at least taken off of this case he was working on, was because she's a patient of some medical facility that they were...
Yeah, like her gyno works for some clinic that their law firm is trying to, like, sue or something.
That's on Morris Chestnut.
I mean, yeah, do some fucking research. Like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, man, like, as in-depth as he is, like, ingrained into this, entrenched, into this case, he should know, like, all of, like, the subsidiaries of this this hospital chain, this medical chain. You know, it'd be like if like here in town, like oh man, like we're really sticking it to like Memorial Hospital. It's like, oh man, but your surrogate goes to like SIU Family Medicine. Like, guess who runs that?
Yeah,
Memorial. Like, fucking like. Did you do, like, I still maintain that he is a terrible lawyer.
It would be like if it turned out in Philadelphia, Denzel Washington worked for Jason Robards' firm.
Oops. I got awkward.
No, totally. So I was like, okay, it's like, this one's on him.
Yeah, that's just you. Like, you just did, like, oh, but they were in network. Fuck off. It's like, you are, like, there are several scenes that he is just handing out money. Like, they move her into their place, and they're like, well, you'll need to get around. So they go out and buy her, like, a brand new, like, Chrysler 200 or something. It's like, you've got fucking money.
She keeps through the whole movie.
You can pay the out-of-pocket on this if you have to. Like, it's okay.
And everyone sucks. Everyone sucks at communication in this film, because this movie could be just a half hour long if people actually talk to each other. So, like,
this movie would have been 2 minutes long if Morris Chestnut had just spoken up. He's like,
yeah,
I don't know. Let's keep looking.
Oh,
that's it. 4 words. I don't know.
Regina Hall brings this up, like, because when Jess Sinclair is like, I love you, I want you. If you don't go with me, then I'm gonna tell everyone that you were fucking me and things like that. And again, in my head, I'm like, okay, so all he has to do is like, yeah, look at her rap sheet. Like, who do you fucking believe? So Regina, she does do this, like Jess Sinclair is like, oh, he tried fucking me, blah, 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 and she goes off.
And that went crazy immediately to start that. Like, he hears later into the movie, he hears like a noise downstairs. So he goes downstairs to see what the hell it was, because she's supposed to be living in the guest house, and she's like down like in like his like study or like home office or something, and he's like, hey, you shouldn't be in here. And she's like, oh, but come on.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like, no. It's like, well, how do you know you love your wife as much as you say you do? Why don't you just fuck me and then you'll know?
Yeah.
Because you'll either
fall
in love with what I got down here, or you love your wife. I mean,
what some of this?
If you really want to show me how much you love your wife, you will plow the shit out of me.
I was in Paper Towns.
And Morse Chestnut, I mean, he's a fucking stand-up guy in this.
Yeah.
Like, he refuses her and turns her away at every fucking opportunity. Like,
so she gets a knife and wants to just like cut the motherfucker. She
starts going a little crazy. Like, she starts like grabbing like a pair of scissors, like she's about to fucking stab him, and he comes over. It's like you know, like, I can't be with you yet.
Yeah, and he's sliding the scissors
like, girl,
away
you know,
from her.
Like, I mean, like, she's in the house. They're like,
we gotta play it cool.
We'll figure this out, though.
She's like, I love you. And he's like, I know.
It's like,
the audience erupted in laughter when that happened.
He fucking Han Solo'd her.
Yeah. And she
looks like she's like, okay. And like, she's like, yeah, going back to bed, girl. And then she's like, okay. And walks out of the room, and he's like, fuck. steps out of the room, like onto like the back patio.
Still hasn't told Regina Hall about any of this.
And she's like standing out there like real awkward. Like, Anna's just standing there like, he's like, it's like, don't. And she just grabbed, like, I don't know what he was saying don't to, because she hadn't done fucking anything yet. She grabs a deck chair, throws it through like a plate glass table that they have out on their porch, and then storms into the house screaming. It's like, I don't think she bought it.
Shit. They would have bought this on Rosewood.
Cut to the inside of the house, and now she's run into the kitchen, grabbed like a fucking like butcher knife, and is now like threatening to murder Morris Chestnut while still going around screaming.
And it's the fastest the cops ever show up in this film.
Meanwhile, Regina Hall, she's still upstairs. She's asleep.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't hear any of this. Like, I know your house is big, but it's not that fucking big.
Oh, and the cops show up like 10 or 20 seconds later.
Did you see how nice that neighborhood is? Of course
they did. Yeah. Well, they were a day late towards the end of the film. But this family again, fucking crazy pregnant bitch.
But yeah, so the cops just immediately, like, as soon as like they get in, like, she kind of like is threatening to kill him, and like they kind of go. Like, she storms out the front door like she's just gonna leave in the middle of the night wearing only a robe and a knife, and gets out into the street, which immediately, like a fucking cop car turns the corner and is like, hey, what's going on? She's just sitting out there like screaming like, this motherfucker, he's fucking me. Like, he won't stop fucking me.
He looks at Regina Hall and he's like, I swear that's not true.
And she's confused, but you can tell, like, she's like, okay, well, yeah, I know he wouldn't do that, but like, what the fuck is going on? Like, she's just more confused by the situation.
They go inside.
It's 3 a.m. Like, y'all fucking out here yelling and shit.
Yeah.
She got a knife. The cops are here. What the fuck happened?
They go inside. Anna takes off, but the two of them go inside, and Regina Hall's pissed. She's like, you didn't tell me about any of this? You've been lying to me? Why didn't you tell me all this shit was going on? And he says...
Because she's like, it's like, did you sleep with her? He's like, no.
No.
It's like, well, did you kiss her? He's
no.
like, no. It's like, then why the fuck were you lying about everything then?
Yeah, she's like, why didn't you tell me about any of this? And he's like, well, I knew how happy you were with, you wanted to experience this whole, pregnancy thing.
I didn't want to ruin the moment for you.
Like, you're getting fucking stalked by a psychopath. You've seen her rap sheet. And her crazy boyfriend is another fucking nut job. Dude, fuck. And this person's living in your guest house and almost killed you with scissors, is sending you nude videos. Man, say something.
And like, Regina Hall almost looks at that point like she would have been more relieved if it had been like, yeah, no, she's not crazy. We just fuck like
hardcore
every time you leave.
Hard banging.
Till when you come back, it's D in some P or sometimes some BH.
Oh, well, maybe, cause their big plan, or Regina Hall's plan, that Morris Chestnut reluctantly goes along with.
And this is when it gets kind of crazy, because
yeah.
Because she leaves after the cops let her go, and then they just lose all track of her.
Mm-hmm.
And they find out, like, if she decides to keep the baby, legally it's hers. And they have, like, no way of contacting her, no way of reaching out to her. So they come up with the plan. It's like, well, we just have to wait for her to call you or something. You get in contact with her and then basically trick her into thinking that you are in love with her.
That's what he has to do.
At which
he
point,
takes her to their cabin.
Regina Hall basically says, like, it's like you need to
fuck her.
You need to convince her that you love her.
Yeah.
And I don't want to know how. I don't want to know any of the details. But just do what you got to do. So basically say, like, go and fuck her. Like, fuck the crazy out of her.
What is the end game in this situation? Because he takes her...
I think Regina Hall's viewpoint on it, her plan is basically take her out of town, get her on, like, a steady, prescription of vitamin Dick, and eventually she will have to have that baby, at which point we take the fucking baby and leave her ass somewhere. Is her plan. Like, it's like her plan, the way she laid it out, is basically stay on this chick until that baby comes out.
This is why we have contracts. Because the way that this movie's been going... Which you would have
assumed a lawyer would have been all for.
The way this movie's been going so far, it's like, even if he seduced her, which he does do, and then steals her baby... Which it seems like in this universe from everything they've said, it could still technically be kidnapping.
His way of seducing her is no different than when he tried tricking her, like, the day before.
Oh, and she falls for it.
The second time, she totally buys it.
Oh, well, because I'm pretty sure they actually do bang.
Oh, like, there's no doubt that, yeah.
Yeah, like, they bang. Morris Chestnut takes her to their cabin, spends a great deal of time with her there, and he's found out when he goes back to the house to see Regina Hall, and because Anna can fucking teleport, she's there in the backyard watching them through the window, which honestly Morris Chestnut probably still could have talked himself out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Jessica's believed enough so far.
Like, I mean, because from her perspective, all she saw was them walking through the house in front of their giant floor-to-ceiling windows. And, like Regina Hall was, like, leaning up against him, and he just kind of had, like, his arm, like, over her shoulder. Like, from the distance she was at, it could have just been him, like, consoling her. Like, it's like, look, I'm sorry, but I'm leaving, and that's what it is. Like, he easily could have talked his way out of it, but... No, it just goes crazy.
Yeah, it goes insane because she fakes going into labor and then Morris Chestnut goes to the hospital, but in actuality, she stayed behind and she clocks Regina Hall in the back of the head. They start having, like, the climactic bitch fight that's
Yeah,
in
it
all
looks-
of these movies.
It looks like it was about to gear up to be like, fuck, what was that movie? The one with Beyonce
Obsessed.
and Ali Larter?
Yeah.
It looked like it was about to go into that, but then suddenly, bitch goes into labor.
Yeah.
And it's just like she's saying like, camera pans down.
Water breaks.
Just gush. I'm like,
And she still knocks Regina Hall the fuck out.
And Regina Hall, like scrambles for her phone, like, yeah, she's gonna call the cops, and she's like, hello, 911, I need an ambulance here. She's having a baby.
Oh, and
It's like, oh, and also the cops, because she's trying to murder us.
oh yeah, and by the way, Anna still
Doesn't
disappears.
Doesn't get in that part about the cops.
She still disappears though, because Regina Hall goes to one hospital, and they're like, we still don't know where Anna is, and it takes them all night to discover, like, oh wait, maybe she went to this other hospital outside of town, and she did.
Yeah, she managed to get downstairs and drive herself like across town to a totally different hospital.
Had the baby and left.
While having contractions. Yeah, had the baby, and then as soon as she was awake again, apparently scooped the baby up and drove away.
Drove back, and they knew she went back to the lake house. I don't know why. She just went back to the lake house.
Well, it's because like their PI friend was like, she's gonna want to go somewhere she feels safe. And
Well,
Morris Chestnut's
I
like,
know how they found her, but I just don't know why she went there.
But yeah, well, like no, that's what I mean. It's like she's gonna want to go someplace she feels safe. He's like, the lake house, that one place we went for one day.
Yeah, where we banged hard.
It's like that's got to be the only place in the world she'll go. Is back to a place she's been one time.
It's so amazing because Morris Chestnut and Regina Hall drive to this lake house in the middle of the night. Morris Chestnut's like, all right, I'm going to handle this, okay? You just stay here. This will be fine. I'll take care of this. And we follow Morris Chestnut inside where he's about to just take the baby and leaves, and the moron stops to put the baby in the carrier when he should have just bolted the fuck out of there.
Go. But yeah, he's sitting there like he's putting sneaks into the house. She's asleep. The baby's on the bed. He sneaks into the room, scoops up the baby, puts it in like the car seat, getting like blanket and shit, and like getting it all swaddled and wrapped up and good to go. Almost makes it out of there and like steps on a toy.
Yeah.
And as soon as the toy makes noise,
instantly, a split second, she's there and clocks Morris Chestnut on the head.
She's got to think about hitting people in the fucking head with things.
Oh, they fall against a gun rack, which foreshadowing. They fall against this gun rack, glasses everywhere. He's beat to shit.
Like she like stabs him through the leg with like a fireplace poker.
He knocks her the fuck out.
But yeah, like she tries like jumping on him. Like he's huge. He's like NFL player, like huge. So he just like she's on his back and there's like toss. Like, oh well, that was that.
Yeah. So he comes limping outside, just blood.
Like,
so
it cuts back to Regina Hall just sitting in like the passenger seat, like I don't know fucking when he's getting back. Looks up and he's staggering out, just cuts all over him, blood just pouring out of his head.
I love it because from her point of view, like it's hilarious. It's like she saw him go inside. A few minutes later, stumbling out a bloody mess with a baby in his hand. What?
It's like shit. He had to like make his way through the movie 31 to get back.
Yeah. Or like this is the dark version of the kidnapping from Raising Arizona.
This one didn't go nearly as smooth. But like she's like, what the fuck? He's like, just get in the car.
You drive.
Get in the car. And he
Get in the car.
Yeah, as soon as she gets out, he just gets in the passenger seat and sits down. So then she spends like 5 minutes buckling the car seat into the car. Like I love that. In a way, like this movie does. I'm trying to think of a good way to phrase this. It does things that any other movie would have wildly just not given a shit about. Kind of like how like Hot Fuzz like took all the time to show you like, yeah, now we're gonna fill out forms and paperwork.
Yeah.
It's like this one here constantly shows us that they are good parents, they are good people, they have a fantastic marriage that is fucking infallible. But at a point it's like, this is a really big scene. you need to just drive. Like, everyone in the theater was yelling at her for trying to buckle the seat in. It's like, fucking hold it.
Which goes along with these movies too, because they flat out in these movies make these characters do things like that to provoke the audience into yelling at the screen.
Oh god, yeah, like fucking the perfect guy had a few very vocal points.
The No Good Deed
No
was
Good Deed was
filled with them. That was that entire movie.
No Good Deed, it was everything short of having like an applause light come on.
Yeah.
Like, that one was built for audience participation.
So was Obsessed, like hardcore. And so this, yeah, they see that of course she's standing right in front of them.
Yeah, they get in the car like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Flip on the headlights.
That was actually
standing right there.
That was actually a pretty impressive shot in the film, because she looks evil, man. She's like blood dripping down her face, holding a fucking shotgun on him. Like, it was a fairly intimidating shot. And Regina Hall has the audience line.
Yeah, bitch, like has the gun trained on him, like, shh, gets ready to rock and roll. Morris Chestnut, like, get down, like, protect the baby. And, like, they all, like they duck down. She shoots, and then, like, just standing, like, Morris Chestnut's like, we need to go. And fucking Regina Hall's like, I have had enough of this bitch.
Yeah, literally what she says.
Shifts the car into drive and just mashes down on the gas and runs her the fuck over.
She just flies 50 feet in the air, comes crashing down.
The car is like overhead shot. The car goes past and you just see her like twisting in the air, and then you just hear like the most horrific bone crunching noises.
She breaks like a taco, and she is just fucking pouring blood out from underneath her.
It is a goddamn massacre.
Yeah, she's dead.
And like Regina Hall just sitting in the driver's seat like, like, bitch, fuck with my man. It's like, fucking hell. Like,
they zoom in on her like you think her eye is gonna open again. It doesn't. She's fucking dead.
She's dead. The only way her eye is opening is if it's an involuntary response while they're doing her fucking autopsy.
Yeah.
Just to count the number of bones that they managed to break.
And the final shot of this movie is Morris Chestnut, the baby, and Regina Hall are back at their place. You can hear the cops coming, and Morris Chestnut says something like, "Don't worry, baby, I got this," or something.
It's like,
credits.
It's okay. It'll be okay.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
You are awfully cavalier about that. Like, the cops are gonna show up, like, okay, whose baby is that? Like, well, ours. Is like, so who's the one out there? Oh, the woman who had the baby. It's like, y'all steal that baby? I'm gonna need you to give me that baby. We are going to have to take that baby. Like, you ran her down on purpose. You're a fucking murderer.
Well,
Morris Chestnut, you were legitimately kidnapping a child. Granted, I know, it's your child. But at the time, she had backed out on your guys' contract. There was one.
I don't think there was.
And it was keeping the baby for herself, at which point you snuck in.
But granted,
she was breaking and entering into their place.
She was breaking and entering into their place. She did try to murder Regina Hall already. She already did try to murder Regina Hall. They can, like, now that she's already dead, it's like, yeah, okay, she killed her boyfriend. She killed her boyfriend. Who knows if they'll be able to keep the kid, but, like, they're not going to jail over that.
Yeah, that got really complicated. Like, there's a lot of crimes being crossed back and forth, being committed here. Like, I don't know who's going to keep that kid.
It'll go to the sister from Lights Out. That's who's keeping the kid.
Well, she seemed to have her stuff together by the end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's the insanity of this fucking film.
I goddamn love these movies.
I do too. These movies are, you never know how batshit they're gonna get. You never know how fucking crazy the dialogue will be, the acting. They are just
horrific sudden death scenes.
Yeah. They are just delicious garbage. Like, they are just the best fast food.
Well, like I was saying before we went in, it's just these movies, like, the stakes are so low or non-existent that all bets are off. It's the fucking Wild West in these. You can do anything you fucking want to do.
Yeah, which makes them entirely unpredictable and absurd. Battery, so just in time.
No.
Just in time, the battery lights on. So
the last sudden death in this.
If you... Yes. No! Damn it, Jazz Sinclair, you shot my camera. And you might be carrying my child. Fuck. This movie, if you love these kind of movies like we do, absolutely this is worth
go to
watching.
this one.
And make sure
it's
a
this.
weekend when you know it's going to be a crowded audience, because that'll make it even more worth it. Yes, go... It's another one of these, like The Perfect Guy, No Good Deed, Obsessed.
Give them your money.
Yes.
I want more of these.
Yeah. Oh my god. So fucking good. So that's my final thought on the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yours?
No, fucking go watch it. I mean, especially like it's gonna make money. What it probably costs like $1 million tops.
It's already made us buying tickets made sure this movie made its money back. It made sitting through that bullshit, the wildlife, worth it. Fuck. If I got this fucking delicious White Castle slider of a dinner, fuck yeah. See ya.